So our first final of the day, led out by the Chinese pair Bao Yixin and Chen. Up against the number 2 seeds Greysia POLII and Nitya Krishinda MAHESWARI. As the players make their way onto court, delighted to say the former head coach of the Danish national team, Steve Pedersen, sitting alongside me as always. And it really is a remarkable start, a pair playing in their very first tournament together, a Chinese combination. Here they are in a Super Series tournament final.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and it shows something of the depth there is in the Chinese women's doubles team. But very, very interesting pair. Looking forward to see them. Very creative players. I think we're in for a very, very good final.
Well, the court officials being introduced first of all, Kelly Hoare and Wolfgang Lund. Bao Yixin, of course, was in the final of the mixed doubles last year. But for the Indonesians, Greysia POLII and Nitya Krishinda MAHESWARI, this their first ever final here at the Australian Open. It is, however, their 5th Super Series tournament final. Of the previous 4 they've been in, well, they've won 2 and lost 2. Of course, they won a Super Series earlier this year. The Singapore Super Series won it by default because the world #1s Matsutomo and Takahashi sadly unable to contest that final in Singapore. Well, Indonesia have been successful in the women's doubles in the past here at this event, but that was 3 years ago when the event was a Grand Prix Gold event rather than part of the Super Series. Vita Marissa and Galeria Apelsasi won the title that year. So, the young Chinese player, there she is, she's a great character, as Steen was saying. She's 18 years of age. She'll turn 19 in exactly 13 days' time. Currently number 12 in the world ranking with Jia Yufeng. And she is reigning world junior champion in both the women's doubles and the mixed doubles. Bao Yixin is 23 years of age, born in Yiyang in Hunan province in southern China. And of course, Bao Yixin, I was mentioning, was in the final of the Australian Open mixed doubles last year. Well, they've had a giant-killing run in this tournament. The number 8 seeds in the second round, the 2011 winners, Matsuo and Nato, 3 games needed there. They had a walkover, as you can see, against the world #1s in the quarter-final. Semi-final yesterday against the number 7 seeds, Fukuman and Yono. They were again and 6-10 down before they came back to win in 1 hour and 24 minutes. Greysia POLII, well, we're looking at MAHESWARI at the moment. MAHESWARI is 27 years of age. She and her partner are down 2 places in the world ranking this week. There's Greysia POLII. They're down to number 4, but they did spend a total of 14 weeks as world #2s. 2 spells of 7 weeks each as world #2s. World Championship bronze medalists from last year. Asian Games gold medalists from 2014. Now, as far as their matches in the tournament are concerned, well, they had a bye in the first round because they were the number 2 seeds. And a semi-final yesterday against Tang Xuanting and Hu Yang, the pair that have just gone above them in the world ranking. That is only the second time in 12 tournaments that Tang Xuanting and Hu Yang have failed to get to the final of a tournament in which they've played. So that was a great win yesterday for POLII and MAHESWARI. So Kelly Hoare, as I was saying, our umpire for this one, Wolfgang Lund from France, is our service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Krishinda MAHESWARI, Greysia, POLII, Indonesia. On my left, Yixin, Chen, China. Yixin to serve to Greysia, POLII. Love all. Play.
So the pair playing in their first ever tournament together. Yixin and Chen. Far side of the court getting this women's doubles final underway. What a good opening rally. Yesterday with MAHESWARI and POLII, that was 81 shots. And we're going to beat that in the very first rally. Well, if they weren't warmed up at the start, they'll be warmed up after rally number 1.
But it's very nice if all the audience is not already in place. They can just catch most of the match still. This is the longest rally of the tournament, I suspect.
Oh, they're working Chen a lot, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really pressurising her. World Junior champion. Well, that's an extraordinary opening rally.
Well, got the game started then.
Big deep breath there from Greysia, POLII.
Yeah.
137 shots. Oh my goodness me.
I've seen exercises like that in Chinese practice that was many years ago, but they went on for 20 minutes, so... Yeah, and I was just about to say before the match started, before the first rally, that maybe the Indonesians were quite satisfied of facing these two Chinese players, because the ones that Yixin and Chen beat in the semifinal, Yunao and Fukuman, they were the ones who played 2 hours and 41 minutes against POLII and MAHESWARI, and that cost MAHESWARI the Youth Cup campaign.
Yes, that was a world record semi-final of the Asian Championships in Wuhan. About 2 hours and 41-minute women's doubles match.
But I don't think we'll see a repeat of that. It might be a long match, but these two Chinese girls, they are stronger in the attack, in my opinion, than the Japanese pair.
Oh, it's gone wrong. It's gone wrong.
But that's some of the ability that she has, this young talent from China. The read of the game to pick up on small possibilities.
Not only her reading of the game, but she was a delight to watch, as you were mentioning, Steen, at the Uber Cup final. She was so animated and so excited when she won rallies, and you know, that overt expression was lovely to watch.
Maybe the first rally is just taking away the worst part of that. I hope not, because as we saw her in Uber Cup, I think she could be a gift to women's doubles.
Yeah. But we're looking at Yixin, and I mean, she's interesting in herself in that she really hasn't played any women's doubles as such for about 10 months.
No.
And been concentrating in her mixed doubles, but prior to that, I mean, there was no doubting her capabilities. In 2013, she was in 9 finals, winning 8 titles with 4 different partners in the women's doubles. She's a class act in women's doubles, even though we haven't seen her of late.
I think she was supposed to be focusing on the mixed doubles. I think Yixin and Chen were supposed to go to the Olympics, but haven't been playing well lately in the mixed. Fear for them that their spot is going to be overtaken by Chen and Majin. So last week, Indonesia Open. I still feel China would have been better off with Yixin and Tang Yuanting playing together in the women's doubles.
Yes, of course they won the World Championships, didn't they, together?
And then again, we saw during the Uber Cup this lady here, Chen, being paired with Tang Yuanting, and that was also something that looked promising. But I mean, you can't really blame them for not putting a 17-year-old or 18-year-old female player in and partnering with the best bet for Olympic gold. Who would know that she would go through such a development this year?
Two Chinese players have 10 World Junior Championship members between them, 7 of them gold. So they've both been outstanding juniors. And the development, as you say, from Chen over the past 12 months, I think, has been quite remarkable. And there's a big difference between playing junior badminton and the senior ranks.
And especially in women's doubles, in my opinion, because it's such a physical game.
Doesn't matter, play.
Well, they haven't followed up on their beginning strategy, the Indonesians targeting Chen in the rallies. That's a little bit strange to me, because it went okay in the first rally.
Oh, is it? Another service error from Chen.
Service over. 7-all.
Oh, that's a fabulous return off the flick serve. How she gets back to that.
8-7.
Cha.
Yeah, now they're targeting her again.
Yeah. And I don't know if they don't care, the Chinese pair, they don't want to make... Oh, it's a
challenge, yeah. Challenge, because it was called out. Indonesians thought it was good that it had landed on the line. So Hawkeye will adjudicate for us. Hawkeye have high-speed cameras on the lines. And they look at the shot frame by frame, and then the instant review judge makes a decision. No, it wasn't. The judge was right.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 9-7. Play. Polly.
Oh, that's landed in.
And it looked like it was going wide, but
Service over.
something stopped.
8-9.
Well played, well played.
Yeah.
Got sufficient power, the two Chinese girls, to create openings.
8.
First on the left side of POLII, and then
Chen.
on the right side.
There's plenty of Indonesian fans, aren't there?
I'm not sure the Indonesians will be successful with this strategy. I mean, the Chinese pair, they beat the Japanese yesterday, Winao and Fukuman, who are even more defensive orientated than the Indonesians here, so I don't think they're afraid to work.
So 11-8, opening game in favour of Yixin and Chen. So the players return to court after the mid-game interval. 3 points the advantage to the Chinese pair.
Play.
Yeah, I like the variation in their attacking play from Chinese pair. They don't go all out attack. But that's nicely taken from Greysia POLII.
Service over. 9-11.
Oh,
Good shot.
brilliant. My goodness me, that was good.
Shows with all her body that she's going to make a smash. And then, just at the nick of time, makes a much softer shot. Look at that.
Foul.
Perfectly executed. That was a little bit what we were searching for with Tang Yuan-Ting yesterday. That she used her smash power to create some openings at the net. It just doesn't seem like she's got a shot like that.
No.
The ones that POLII showed us.
Oh, that wasn't the best of serves, was it?
Challenge.
Yeah.
Challenges.
I'm not surprised.
Out.
We're quite high up in this Olympic Sports Centre. And it's quite difficult for us to see. Instinctively, I thought that was going to land in. Well, the line judge obviously is in a much better place. Oh, no, we were right. Good challenge.
Correction in. Service over. 12-11.
Did you notice the call by the umpire there? Correction in instead of challenge successful. I do wish that more umpires would. I think they're instructed to say whether the challenge is successful or unsuccessful. But I like that call.
Yeah.
It's quite clear to all of us.
I don't know if it's correct, but I've heard some rumors that it's sort of perceived as not so polite to the linesman to say correction, but I mean, it is a correction.
It is a correction. We would do it in tennis.
It's not that we're criticizing the linesman, because who could see without having the advantage of going frame by frame that it just caught some tiny little part of the line. I couldn't.
No.
I would have no chance. Nobody would have a chance to see that. So it's just great that we have Hawkeye to adjudicate that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice return.
Service over. 13-all.
Came towards, well, I was going to say the mid-court area, but it was really the front court. It was such an acute angle. It was a delightful return.
And I really like the racket movements of Chen, because she's capable of swinging really fast.
13. Thank you, Chen. Play.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The cross smash from Chen does the damage. Very hard for POLII to cover the middle of the court and also the cross, that one. And she doesn't get it long enough.
We were talking earlier about Chen's racket head speed. On the overhead shots or
in general?
In general.
In general, I think she's got very, very good technique. All players have a little bit of different kind of technique, but I think she's probably got the best technique on this court here. We can see Yixin. She's got a little bit bigger swing on her movement, especially her overhead movements. MAHESWARI definitely got a big swing on it. POLII's got great technical skills as well.
Oh, it's a very tight open game, isn't it?
Service over. 14-15.
A little bit how much time you need to sort of create your shots. And Chen, she has all possibilities left with even very, very little time. That won't be the case for instance, MAHESWARI or Yixin.
Oh, my goodness. Well worked rally. Yeah, no wonder they're smiling. Yeah, I was particularly watching in that rally, given your comments, Steen, and there's sort of a snap through with the racket head, with those overhead shots.
And very much like Yu Yang when she was totally on top of her game when she won the Olympics in 2008, and also a period from 8 up until 12, 13, 14 or something like that. Very, very good racket movement.
What's the umpire saying here?
You need to be quicker. Okay, you're taking too long, and don't put your hand up.
Well, that was quite clear. Oh, there's the confusion with a brand new pairing.
And that's actually the first time we've seen them sort of be a little bit confused. And I think that's a sign that both players have a great read of the game, that they are very quick in adapting to other playing styles. So a bit more mistakes yesterday in the men's doubles combination with Zheng Xiwei and Liu Chong.
There's been a couple of misjudgments by Yixin down her backhand side.
Play.
You see Yixin in the picture, and she was the one it was killed on, but it was actually a cross-court shot from Chen who created the problems for her own partner. Fantastic.
Real pressure from the return of serve. Well, we've seen her play some outright winners on the return, haven't we?
And look how her racket moves now. Now, Very, very quick racket movement, not a lot of arm in it.
Yeah.
So if your stroke technique is a lot more using the arm and so on, you wouldn't be able to go for that shot.
Oh, interesting stats there. Front court winners, but much more, many more for the Chinese pair. Lots from the rear court. Indication that they're really working the rally and involving the front court player, which is a necessity in women's doubles.
Even though Chen is a really, really strong front court player, she is not at all afraid to work from the back court.
No.
And right now, she, in my opinion, is the dominating player on the court.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Chen.
Umpire spotting that the Chinese player was about to serve.
Play.
Corrects it. Good umpiring. Oh, look at that. Oh, well, she's hit it long, but the read of that just emphasises everything you've been saying.
18-all. Thanks, Chen.
Yeah, I thought for a moment she was going to play that. Oh, shocking serve.
That was 3 really, really good points for the Indonesians.
Game point. 18.
Yeah, that error on the return means that the Indonesian #2 seeds have 2 game point opportunities. That's short. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. No. I do not believe it. How on earth did she miss that? How on earth did the Chinese pair get some of those smashes back? Look at that.
20.
I don't want anything to do with that racket anymore. Yeah. Your fault.
So, one of the game points has come and gone. And the second game point is well saved by the Chinese pair.
Great work by Yixin. She has the chance on the second last shot, but she just opts for a big opportunity. Puts a little bit more pressure on, and then it's a sure kill.
Play.
So 20 all and extra points required until there's a clear 2-point winning margin.
Oh.
Well, having just saved 2 game points, there's the little expression of delight from Chen. They now have a game point themselves, the Chinese pair. There's a little skip of delight after winning the rally. There we go. So expressive, so nice to watch.
20.
So not cheering of your opponent's mistakes, that's gone.
Oh, nice drop. And again. Oh, no! Well, both pairs have missed sitters on game point opportunities. Well, that is extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah, and what a fantastic reaction from your partner. If I mean, Bao Yixin, she just missed a reasonably big one, not as big perhaps as it looked. And of course, Chen is disappointed and sort of shows her frustration, but afterwards she's laughing at her partner.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I mean, then you want to go for it the next time. It's not that she's holding it against her in any way.
Yeah.
But I mean, no matter who loses this first game, must be kicking themselves because they had huge opportunities. Very, very interesting conclusion to this first game. Or yeah, we don't know whether it's been concluded. It's not been concluded yet, so we might have a lot of play left.
Tie your shoelace up when you're having a let, okay? 21. Oh.
Oh yes, well played. Bao Yixin making the difference at the front of the court.
Service over.
And their stats for front court winners are going to be even more impressive now. Look at that. So, second game point opportunity now for the Chinese pair. Good serve. Yeah, this time they convert. A little over 32 minutes, 23-21. And what an excellent opening game. Look at that racket work. That's exactly what you were talking about. 23-21. Oh, very, very interesting that along with Liu Yong, he's the man giving the instruction, is Tang Xuanting, who lost in the semi-final yesterday, playing with Yu Yang. And it's interesting that he's allowing her to do part of the coaching role. That's fascinating. She is quite a character, Tang Xuanting. You and I both know that she's learning English, and it was wonderful at Yorling. And when she won the title with Bao Yixin, that was last year, wasn't it? 2015?
Yeah, it was.
And she did the first Chinese player I've heard do an interview post-match in English. That was great.
When you fly into Sydney, you might be lucky enough to enjoy views similar to this, the magnificent Sydney Harbour and all of its attractions, including the world-famous Opera House. Let's get back to the finals action. Women's doubles, second game.
Well, what a terrific opening game. 23-21 in favour of the pair that are playing their first ever tournament together. Now, I can't help but wonder, Stephen, whether the Indonesian coach, XIAMENAIR, will have advised his players that really they shouldn't be as defensive and perhaps try and be a little more proactive with getting on the attack.
Yeah. I mean, they had their chances in the first game. They could easily have won it. They can't change too much. On the other hand, they were a little bit lucky getting the chance. Sitting defense. Yeah. You don't practice enough of that. I don't think they will come through with a too passive strategy against the Chinese pair, because they're perfectly capable of creating their own points.
2-1.
So I think they have to be a little bit more dangerous, the Indonesian pair. And if they're going to target one player, then I would change the target to Yixin.
At the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, smashed rackets. That's not going to see another shuttle, is it, that racket? Yixin. That's had its day.
2-all.
Yeah. That's not going to work.
No, they're very good at slices, though.
Just testing the new racket. Which is a courtesy amongst the badminton players, isn't it, Steve? But you never see a tennis player trying out a new racket when they break a string.
They have the same tension.
Yeah. Oh, indecision.
The funny thing is that the Yixin can say, hey, stay away from my defense, because she was the one that was first on the shuttle when her racket broke.
Well, of course, in one way, because it's their first tournament together, the Chinese pair won't be completely settled and knowing each other's games and where the partner's going to play the shuttle, what's part of the court you've got to cover afterwards. But on the other hand, the Indonesians won't know how to play them tactically, because they've never seen them play together before.
And when you play your first tournament together and you're in the final, I mean, when you start playing together, you're always willing to go that extra mile for your partner, because you know that you're not settled. So it's accepted that you have confusion at some points in the rallies and so on, but you fight a little bit more, and sometimes that sort of goes away when you're a more settled pair, because you have some agreements and you got to keep your agreements, and hey, you didn't keep your agreement here, and, oh, but you could have saved it, and so on. So it's important to keep that sort of hungry for victory attitude.
Service over. 4-all.
She's got a very playful playing style, Chen. That's what I really love to see.
What do you mean by that? Creative or?
Creative, and she seems like having fun. She seems like having fun.
Yeah, well, you would do with a shot like that.
And what more could you ask? I mean, that's fantastic.
Moment of magic. Oh, good defense from Yixin.
It's also a strong performance by her because, I mean, she hasn't played women's doubles for quite some time, as you mentioned, Jill, and suddenly go in and do so well here. That's impressive in my opinion.
Yeah.
And there's this attitude, hey, let me have the shuttle so I can do something with it.
Yeah.
She's searching for responsibility.
Creative again. Look at that.
That was a little chance, and she was picking up upon it.
It's a good rally. It's a very good rally. Well, she's disappointed with herself, going for that extravagant cross-court block on the defence. She's already proved it that she could do it on the going towards the other side.
Good rally for POLII and MAHESWARI, but a little bit concerning if they have to work that much to score points.
Yeah, I don't think they've really involved the net player in the same way as the Chinese pair have done so far. And it is terribly difficult to hit winners from the back of the court, isn't it? Defensive players so good now at this, that defensive shot. Yeah, defense is so good with all these top women's doubles players. It's got to be very, very precise and varied, the attacking play. If you're going to hit a winner from the back, most of the time it's about setting up for the front court play.
Shaky service there. Good shot. Oh.
I think there's little signs that the Indonesians are getting a little frustrated that they're not able to finish off these rallies.
Yeah. POLII again. She was the one who missed that sitter in the first game on the game points.
That's very, very good.
That's what's a little bit worrying for the Indonesian side, that they have to be very, very careful and precise, make quality shots. If they make one loose shot, then they get punished a little bit easier than they can punish the Chinese themselves. They're actually not creating a lot of points. They're a little bit living off the mistakes from the Chinese pair. placement.
Yeah, and there's that disguise with the short racket movement that you were talking about. Once again on display.
Puts it to the left shoulder of MAHESWARI. She's not able to get her racket over there.
Well, it's a 5-point advantage now in the second game, having already won the first for this new Chinese pairing. And there's the frustration once again, showing in POLII's errors. So 11-6, second game. Well, Eng Hiang, the Indonesian coach, he was always a creative player himself, wasn't he?
Very creative front court player. Fantastic read of the game.
Thank you, Coach. Chen, of course.
I wonder what his advice to the number 2 seeds. I suppose
11-6.
the advice would have to be, you've got to do something different, because if you continue like this, you're going to end up losing it. So I don't know if we're going to see suddenly different tactics from the Indonesian players, or whether indeed they'll be allowed to employ new tactics. Oh, that's good.
Good shot.
Good rally. Yeah, well played.
Service over. 7-11.
Don't know if you noticed early on in that rally, POLII took the half chance to go to the net, rush to the net. In fact, the Chinese cleared the shuttle, but there was a definite sign that she was wanting to go to the net more.
Yeah, but she's no threat from the baseline or from the back court here. She simply doesn't hit it hard enough or deep enough. So they got to get the position of MAHESWARI at the back court, POLII at the net. POLII also got better read than MAHESWARI, so that's clearly the preferred offensive position.
Oh, missed it.
Yeah.
Too flat. That's where you need that shorter racket movement.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm getting more and more sure that after the Olympics we see Chen partnered with Tang Yuanting.
Chen. Right.
Oh, look at that. Brilliant.
Service over. 13-8.
Just
Down, Chen. Down, Chen.
Hongkong's going to have a word with the Chinese players now.
You need to be quicker when you're serving. You need to be quicker. You're taking too long, yes?
Oh,
it was a little lucky.
yeah. But the idea was good anyway.
Yeah.
It may have came on. Did he come off the frame of the racket?
No, I don't think so. I just think she played it really, really sharp. Wow, that was a powerful smash from MAHESWARI. Wow, look at that jump. I haven't seen a lot of women do that jump.
Yeah,
Leaps to the backhand side.
yeah, I'm getting more and more impressed the more I see her play. First time I saw her play was a couple of years ago in Germany, playing mixed doubles, and I was impressed then, but my goodness, the improvement.
Then she was only 16.
Yeah.
And they won the tournament.
Yeah. Mind you, I mean, she was semi-finalist in this event 3 years ago. She was a 15-year-old. Yeah, good judgment.
She lost at practice a couple of days ago because I met her at the ice cream shop. I was, of course, merely there looking, but she had to buy ice cream for one of her teammates, and it was boysenberry.
It's just long. Well, Jeremy is told that can't change the shuttle. Indonesians didn't want it changed. I'm perhaps thinking it was delaying tactic. Oh, confusion.
That's good read from MAHESWARI. I think that was a combination that they agreed upon, perhaps during the interval, heading to the inner side of Yixin. Makes it very likely that it comes cross there.
Rally of the second game.
Girls, here. Come here. You are taking too long. You need to be quicker. Got it? Quicker.
Well, after a rally lasting 78 shots, it's understandable that they...
12,
Yeah.
15.
Oh,
a little lucky there with the net cord.
Service over. 16, 12.
we know that POLII is often struggling with her service. Not as reliable as she would like it to be.
Yeah. Start by the Indonesians.
Service over. 13, 16.
Trying to make a comeback, the Indonesians right now. Very, very important period.
Yeah. And when you think that they were 6 points adrift at 9:15,
Yeah.
5 of the last 6 points. This is very important, isn't it? Important rally.
Good defense by POLII. Oh.
Oh, my goodness. Another missed opportunity. Would you believe it? But you see, I know you've often talked, Steen, about provoked pressure.
Yeah.
And I think that these errors on the sitters are almost provoked because they're feeling they've got to get it so
And
steep.
that one wasn't as big as it looked. It didn't have the correct height over the net. So she could just sort of keep on pressuring. She couldn't kill it, and she went for the kill, and that's why sort of the mistake occurred, and provoked by the good defense by both pairs, actually, as we see them. They are playing great defense. It's been a fantastic match so far. Oh, that's lucky.
That's extremely lucky. Hit the top of the tape and just crawled over. Look at that.
That's why she get a little too careless, in my opinion, in defense when she's her right elbow falls into the body and she's making some habit strokes. Chen.
Oh, Indonesians needed that rally. Needed that point. There's the jump smash again and again. Oh, yes.
Well played by MAHESWARI. Reads the drop shot from Chen.
It's another one of those crucial points right now. Huge difference psychologically between 16-19 or 17-18.
Terrible service. But also, I mean, also credit to Chen for punishing it, because there's a lot of women's doubles players who are not capable of punishing it. They're capable of taking the initiative, but not scoring directly on it.
Now left, and match points have arrived for this new pair of Bao Yixin and Chen.
20 match points, 16.
That's the worst thing that can happen. That is to get an open opportunity, because we haven't seen anyone capitalize from it yet.
17, 20.
I was halfway to saying that's it. What?
And that's out.
So the Indonesians offered a lifeline. This time they convert, and it is a dream start to the partnership. Bao Yixin and Chen in their very first tournament together take the Australian Open title. 23-21 21-17 in a match lasting just a fraction over the hour mark. Look at that disguise. And then the jump smash.
And that can only be done with the correct technique. If you, I mean, Bao Yixin's technique wouldn't help her in jump smash.
No. Well, extraordinary.